So I'm not really feeling the whole YouTube thing today, but I wanted to get a casual video done, and I thought, what's a really good casual topic? Something I've either talked about before, or something that's so simplistic that it won't take too long to discuss. And, well, what fits that criteria perfectly is Black Ops Cold War. Now, I've talked about Black Ops Cold War a lot. This channel covers each Call of Duty game as they come out and throughout their life cycles. And, Black Ops Cold War, my gosh, you know, I skipped all of last season. I don't even think I got to tier 10 in the Battle Pass. I had little to no interest in sitting down and playing it, and so I didn't. I instead played other games. I played Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, Avengers. I played a lot of PvE co-op games with my friends, and it's been nice to detox from the sweaty online gameplay of games like Halo and COD and Battlefield. My heart's just not in it, so I don't play very well recently, and so it's been good to do other things. But I did want to sit down and play a Call of Duty game. I was feeling that competitive craving. I wanted to go into something like Black Ops Cold War and try to have some good games. And while I did have fun with the play session and I did have some good matches, overall, I was just as bored as I was a couple months ago, just right off the bat. As soon as I learned the new map that just came out, Echelon, I didn't have anything new to sink my teeth into other than all the new ways I can die by the new weapons, which seem to melt incredibly fast. But let's talk about Echelon for a little bit. Echelon is a solid map. You're seeing gameplay of it here. I like it. It's cool. I like that there's some weather going on. There's a little bit of a storm going on while you play, and that adds to the aesthetic. And I like that you're able to jump onto vents and, you know, hanging pallets of wood, and you're sort of doing these like death chasm leaps of faith onto routes that get you around the map. And so I like that. I like that sort of deadly verticality that's here, and I wish we would have gotten more maps that are this interesting, because this map isn't very interesting. Its overall layout's very simplistic, but just the act of, you know, jumping over a chasm that could lead to your death to get to the other side of the map, that's kind of cool. I like that. And also some stormy weather adds to it, in my opinion. I feel like most of Black Ops Cold War's maps are completely lifeless. In fact, before this game's life cycle is over, I'm going to make an entire video about how lifeless this game's maps are. So either way, Echelon's fine, but I spent the rest of my play session, of course, not having the new weapons yet, because that takes a while to grind towards, but worse, dying by the new weapons. And dying by the new AR and SMG. I don't know if the LMG is new or how many times I really died by it. I can't really be sure. But either way, the AR and the SMG, I think it's the EM2 and the Tech 9, tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But, oh my god, they kill fast. They kill very fast. And, you know, I predicted right off the bat of this game, and you could say it's confirmation bias that's led me to this point almost, well, about a year later. But Black Ops Cold War has conventional map design, conventional burst weapons, sniper rifles, and shotguns and pistols, and then they also have DLC weapons that seem to do very, very well in close quarters. They seem to put out a lot of damage very quickly. The new Tech 9 SMG can kill in 3 shots, which is insane. You know, so there's no real definitive time to kill in Cold War. It's like, yeah, the time to kill is longer if you're using like an XM4. Yeah, it's longer than previous Call of Duty games, but if you use the M16, then it kind of feels like you're playing Modern Warfare 2. Not as snappy and consistent as Modern Warfare 2, but you get the picture. It's like, yeah, the time to kill is longer when you use the MP5 or something, but then, you know, you round the corner and somebody has a Hauer and you die in 1 or maybe 2 shots, and then it's like, yeah, the time to kill didn't really get longer, you know, just some guns got nerfed is really what it is. And these DLC weapons, I think, need a nerf, because there were so many gunfights, and I was a little bit rusty, but, you know, I was rusty, but I had goals in mind. I was excited to be sitting there and streaming the game and playing, so I feel like I was not terribly off-center. You know, maybe the gameplay that's running here is going to prove that wrong. You guys are going to watch it and be like, holy crap, your aim is terrible. And maybe it was worse than I thought it was. But it felt like I was getting 2 to 3 hit markers before dying a lot. Now, if somebody catches me mid-sprint, my mistake. I get shot in the back, shit happens. If I see somebody, start shooting them first and then die, and that pattern keeps repeating, it kind of feels like something's wrong. And it's what I predicted the game was going to be like. If you reduce flinch to almost nothing, and then you have weapons that out DPS other weapons, then landing first shot with certain guns won't matter. So you'll sprint up to somebody, aim down sight, start shooting, get a hit marker, and you're gonna need 4 more or 3 more after your first, depending on the rifle or SMG you're using or pistol you're using, but either way, let's just say you need to land 4 shots. And the person you're fighting needs to land 3, or is just aiming at your head, you'll start getting hit markers, and then you'll die, and you'll think, well, they deserved the kill, they aimed for your head. And I would say yes, except for how fast you move in Call of Duty and how sporadic people move. I don't feel like when I come out of sprint to start shooting somebody, I need to be aiming directly at their head. You could say that no flinch and high headshot multiplier makes this one of the more skill-based Call of Duty games, but I disagree. I think the nature of Call of Duty is kind of turned on its ass when I come out of sprint, start landing shots, but the game is essentially telling me those are the wrong shots. You're not getting headshots, and you're not using the meta abuse weapon of today. So you lose. This person's using an M16, so you come around the corner, you start shooting, you get 1, 2, 3 hits, you need 1 more, and then somebody lands a full 3-round burst into your chest. You're done. You don't get to play anymore. That gunfight's over now. And that's really how it felt when I went up against the EM2 and the Tech 9. Again, I hope those are the right names. I can't be fucked to look it up. But either way, it felt like I was going up against weapons that were designed to kill me faster than the average weapon. Like, I couldn't use my XM4. I was struggling with my Farah or my AK-47, and those are the 3 assault rifles I'm pretty confident with. I should have just switched to my M16, and that's usually the mentality I get into whenever I'm playing Cold War, is I should just be abusing this DPS meta that Treyarch designed. What the fuck am I doing? Trying to avoid it. Then you mix in snipers and crossbows and ballistic knives, and how many times those will one-shot you and just kill you right off your little spree, or you get melee weaponed as you're trying to land shots into people. Makes the game feel very clunky and more bullet spongy than it actually should. Very depressing. And if the maps were complicated or even interesting, I would be able to maybe do flank routes and maybe adjust my playstyle more, and I could, adapt into more styles of play, because, you're sort of limited by the design of a map. If it's very, very clear-cut and limiting and predictably laid out, good luck flanking, good luck using unique playstyles or weapon builds, because you're mostly going to be squared off face-to-face against an opponent in a predictable lane that likely has symmetrical cover, so your creativity is essentially shat on while you're getting punched in the face. To succeed in this type of arena, I would have to kill the part of me that enjoys interesting combat. And I've had good sprees of like playing Black Ops Cold War every day and getting better every day, and getting good gameplay. If you guys have watched my channel, you guys have seen some good Cold War gameplay on this channel. It just it's not compelling gameplay. When you don't have combat puzzles and the weapon customization isn't interesting, you can't really do unique builds or anything like that. You just end up getting bored. Like, Black Ops Cold War is frustrating, but not enough for me to really scream about. It's too mundane, it's too mediocre, it's too middle of the road to be interesting. And I don't mind Call of Duty playing things to their strengths and being simplistic, being just the Twitch shooter that it is, but a little bit of flavor on top of that is nice. Good weapon customization, interactable environments, complicated maps with layouts that take a while to learn and master, and also things that just create variety between matches, Those ebbs and flows of what makes a fun Call of Duty game that sort of stretch all the way back to COD 4 and World at War and Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1. We're sort of losing those, and I really don't like Black Ops Cold War because those ebbs and flows are kind of gone and everything feels very distilled. It feels very basic. It's like it's brought down to a surface level and very rarely peaks in terms of customization or map design. It never really peaks anywhere. It's so mediocre in that right. And then the way they snuck in specialist weapons as score streaks, but they don't reset, so they really are just specialist weapons snuck into the game. Either way, I don't enjoy Black Ops Cold War still. In case you were wondering, I don't know why you would be. It's a boring topic, and obviously nothing's happened to Black Ops Cold War, the multiplayer side of it at all. Really, that's so drastic that someone who didn't like it 4 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago is gonna start liking it now. That's unrealistic to say the least. Now, I know I've said everything in this video in previous videos, and there isn't really a lot of value in me coming into Cold War every season and going, this is lame, don't like it, but I don't know how else to talk about Call of Duty right now. So, when Vanguard reveals itself and we get to see what that looks like, and maybe we get to play an alpha or a beta or something soon, that will allow me to just explode into topics, you know, I'll just be beaming with Call of Duty topics, and that will be really, really cool. But until then, bye.